Good evening, the time is now 6:45. I'd like to call this pension meeting for the town of Plainfield to order for December 8th. Roll call. Vice Chair,
Tom Sinkwitz.
Kevin Cunningham. Item C1 for new business election of officers as stated by the town charter 91A. Entertain motions for officers.
I'll make a motion for Kevin Cunningham to be chair.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Hearing none. Entertain motion to close nominations.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Kevin Cunningham for chair. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next will be vice chair. Entertain a motion for vice chair.
I'll make a motion, Tom Sinkwitz for vice chair.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close nominations.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor of Tom Sinkwitz vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Secretary.
Make a motion for Mike Superman for secretary.
And I will second that. Any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close nominations.
Motion closed.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All in favor of Mike as secretary, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And then on item 2 is to approve minutes of the pension meeting. That date is incorrect. It's November 10th. You have it in your package, should have November 10th.
Obviously, Tom, I want on the board, but I'll make a motion to approve as posted.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 3 is to consider act on the pension meeting dates. I know we don't have a full quorum here, but we can't vote on that because I did get a call from Don, who was not able to make it. I haven't heard anything from Mike. I'll reach out to Mike to remind him of his responsibility that as the chair of the board. But if you have in your packet, item 3, the listing of the pension meeting dates.
My only questions on it, Kevin, April 14th and September 8th. On the 14th, the Board of Selectmen meeting is April 13th, so it's the day before. And on September 8th, the Board of Selectmen meeting is September 4th, so it's the week after.
Let's look at those.
I know they usually coincide, right?
Yep. So you're saying April 14th?
I'm saying April 14th will be posted on,
Yeah, it should be the 13th.
and it should be the 13th.
Yep.
So we could change
That's
that.
fine, yeah.
And then you have down here September 8th, and then September 8th, the selectmen meeting is actually the 14th and 28th.
Yeah, we can do the 14th. So those two modifications, to make those both changed for April 13th and September 14th, what's your pleasure then?
I'll make a motion to approve the pension board regular meeting dates with those two corrections.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item D is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 6:48. Okay, the time is now 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this Board of Selectmen meeting to order for December 8th and ask you to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and roll call.
Mike Superman. Tom Sinkwitz.
Kevin Cunningham. Item C, to approve the meeting minutes from the Board of Selectmen meeting from 11/24/25.
I'll make a motion to approve November 24th meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item D, public comment. Anybody here from the public wish to speak?
Hi, Linda Fedor, Temple Village. I noticed on the agenda that it, discuss an act on appointing town council My question is, how do we recruit candidates for that position?
What we do is we put out to the local attorney groups to ask a request for a prospectus talking about what they do, who their members are, and what their costs are. So we did that. I've had 5 companies, which so far I have 3 returned already.
What's the deadline?
We don't have a deadline. Well, according to the charter, it's March 15th.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna appoint them tonight? No.
I do not intend to do that.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. Anyone else from the public?
Gary Sullivan. Are you appointing more members to the capital strategic planning, or some people decide not to do it?
Well, it all depends on how we vote, so I can't answer for that. I can say we're talking about it tonight.
Because you did some at the last meeting, so
Right.
I thought it was kind of filled up at that point. I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm assuming you got enough LoCIP money to do the roof then, right?
And we will talk about that also.
Okay. And as far as the public meeting for the ECC, me personally, as far as being part of the committee there, I prefer to keep the building, expand it, move the town offices up there. So I'm hoping at your meeting, you'll allow the public to speak their piece about keeping the building too, besides your
Yes.
proposed buyers or whatever.
That is the intent.
One more thing about that. I can't remember, how much money was invested in that building when we bonded it out?
I think it was like 1.1 million 25 years ago,
1.1?
roughly 1.1 25 years ago.
Okay, all right.
Anybody else from the public?
Naomi Smith. Capital Strategic Planning Committee. One of my questions is that committee going to be eventually presenting its findings to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance? Because like, if we're looking into cost analysis and repairs of buildings, infrastructure, so does that mean that we're going to potentially be seeking to add projects and fixtures, things like that, to the capital plan going forward?
Correct.
That's one of the purpose. Okay, because I was like, how is it moving forward?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Before we continue, well, actually, let's continue on E1. Discuss and act on appointing town council via a resolution following the town charter 82A. As we already heard, we have until March 15th to do so. I did receive back 3 of the 5 requests. So I would prefer we table this because we don't have all the information to make a proper judgment on.
Does it look like we probably can have it for our next meeting?
Well, it all depends on those companies. Again, I'm pushing them to get it back as soon as possible. I got the 3rd one today.
Okay. Because I almost wonder, like, we definitely need to table it, but, you know, if we need to build a little bit more of a time frame in, just meaning like, if we're not gonna have all the information available, we obviously don't want to keep having to act on it, you know, until we have that information. So,
I believe we might have everything by the next meeting, so.
yeah, okay.
As long as I don't have a problem tabling it. I only have one other suggestion for under the town council. I put together something I'll give you. So at some point, I don't know if we have to build it into next year's budget or ask the police department, police commission if they want to put it into next year's budget. I came up with about 11 different things on why I think the police commission and the police department need separate legal counsel. I just think to pass it out to you so you can look at it, you can read it, and see if that's something that we want to talk about, act on, or move into next year's budget. And all the reasons that I put in here, and I actually reached out and found out numerous other towns with police commissions set up like ours have separate town council. The reason why is to get the politics out, because a lot of times the town council advises you, Kevin, or us, the Board of Selectmen, and they're also advising the police commission or police department. There's a conflict there. And I don't know if we can put in the line item, I'm just making this number up, $20,000 to $25,000 in there, look at something like that. I did read the town charter 8.2, and it does appear that we can do that. That's something I'd like to obviously discuss if there's anything.
Well, thank you for your input. I will read through it. I'm sure Tom will too. But right now, though, what do you want to do with you want to table this?
I was gonna make a motion that we table appointing town council.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I would like to add on one more thing in here, and as you see, I passed you out a couple of emails. The one thing I do want to discuss, because we do have a housekeeping issue with the Conservation Commission to make sure that the applicant who we voted on makes a proper date so that the town clerk can put those in properly into the system. I'd entertain a motion this time to add to item 6, the new business, a motion to correct the Conservation Commission members' service dates.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we can go into new business F1. There are 3 tax refunds as requested by the town tax collector, totaling $999.85. Kimberly K. Pitch is for $266.36. Enterprise FM Trust $468.27. ARI Fleet Ltd. LT Ltd. $265.22.
I'll make a motion that we approve the tax refunds as requested by the tax collector totaling $999.85.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Discuss and appoint members to the newly created Capital Strategic Committee. I do want to say that we did add 8 people last time. I don't think it's prudent to continue to adding on more people into that group unless they are directly related to a highway department or someone that works directly for the school department in the buildings. Unfortunately, we don't have that right now. Making this committee too large would mean that you have a much more difficult time of actually acting on things and doing things. I know we acted on we have 2 members of the Board of Education on there, 2 members of the Board of Finance. We have representation from the public. So that's 8 right now. I would really rather not continue adding more people. As you saw in their packet, the 3 that are there are not what we have.
My only problem is I obviously made a motion to appoint all the people that were interested during that meeting last month. We got another individual who was interested in there, Ari Landry. I actually see her here tonight. And I know we don't want the committee too large, but she did put in, we oversaw that for everything.
She actually put a request in on Monday, November 24th.
Right, during our last meeting.
At 7:42 p.m.
I think another thing that we got to consider here, Kevin, is at the last meeting, did we actually agree on a cap? Did we give a specific number that once we hit that, we weren't going to be appointing anymore?
No, but I think we should talk about that now.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is that between the last meeting and now, the 3 individuals that we have, I mean, if there was no cap acted on us for it, I believe in their minds, they would have thought that, well, and actually I think we did specifically say at some point we can add people down the road. So the fact is, if we said that at last meeting and we got these since then, I would feel really bad if we didn't consider these because of the fact that we gave them that opportunity. Now going forward, I definitely see what you're saying, and maybe we should say, in motion that this is enough at this time, so we're not going to be looking for more volunteers after this meeting. But the fact that we kind of left the window open since the last meeting, I think these 3 people are right.
I hear what you're saying, but what if 50 people put their name in?
I agree, but I think we'll make a cap or something tonight.
We should do that.
Right, I mean, obviously we have 50 people here, we wouldn't, we'd have.
Who are the 3 towns?
Ariana Landry, which you were just mentioning, she got in shortly after the meeting, Peggy Bory and John Van Olsen, who I believe all 3.
I thought John was for the economic
He's
development.
also.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'd make a motion that we add the 3 that you just said, and move from there.
Without a cap.
Well, I can go that with another motion.
I think we should do it all in one.
All
We
in one?
could do it all. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before we get to that, what's your idea of how many people? Because that would make it 11.
I'll keep it at 11, so we members.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. If you want to just keep it 11, say at this time. If in case of the delay that comes in tonight or going forward, we can say thank you for sending in your interest, but, you know, we decided at the meeting that these 3 that we just had are, for the time being, or if we get resignations or something, consider that approved.
I'll make a motion that we add Harvey Landry, John Van Holsen, Peggy Bory with a cap of 11 people for the Capital Strategic Planning Committee.
I'll second that.
Rick, you have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll abstain. All right, item 3, discuss and appoint member to Economic Development Commission. You have one letter in your packet.
I'll make a motion to appoint John Van Holsen.
I'll second that. For economic development.
And any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 4, to discuss and act on utilizing LoSiP monies to upgrade the bus garage roof. And this was a time-sensitive issue. That's why at the last meeting we talked about how do we be able to access money by going to the Board of Finance for fund balance. However, if you don't mind, I'll introduce Lisa Madden. She is our new finance director, just so she can give a lowdown of LoSiP and how much we are able to utilize. We do have enough money, but I just want to make sure that she can explain that we have enough. That's a roughly.
Yes, we do have enough. When I reviewed the account balances for the deposits made in the last 2 years, plus the upcoming deposits and expenditures going out, the original estimate was about $50,000, and we do have enough to cover.
And there's no type of restriction on this as far as utilizing this kind of project?
No, it's part of, there's a whole listing, let me rephrase that, the LoSiP funds cannot be used for, but it can be used for facilities other than schools, public buildings other than schools, construction, renovation, code compliance, energy conservation, and fire safety. So it's all under that. We will have to get it approved though, once we get there.
It's on here because we need to act on it as a Board of Selectmen in order to go in front of the LoSiP, the state of Connecticut, and say, yes, we recognize there's a need, and therefore we've acted upon it at the meeting.
So allocate the funds for it.
Okay.
Another question I had was, as far as coming up with the amount of $45,000, did we ever get like kind of a breakdown of how we would get to that? Because I know like in my line of work of getting quotes for, and I've actually replaced a piece of roofing in my business. Usually when I got a quote, it would have a breakdown of like, so this much is going to go towards insulation. Not that this might not have insulation, but just as an example. Another one's going to be towards the decking for sheet metal. This is going to be for the rubber coating, and it all adds up to $45,000. So have we got anything?
Yeah, I can explain that. What we'd like to do is we'd like to go out to businesses that, like roofing companies that would be able to give us a rough estimate and break down like that. We've gone out to 3, we've gotten back 1. It's a very quick turnaround that they're doing this on, but as soon as we get all that information, I can share it with you. We do have 1 right now. It's just an estimate. Well, again, it's over 10,000, so procurement policy says they're getting out to bid. I don't think we have to give a number in our request, just saying that we'd like to allocate monies or request monies from the state of Connecticut to do the roof repair.
We don't have a formal bid yet to make that dollar determination.
I'll make a motion that we go out and use, obviously, the state of Connecticut LoSiP monies for the upgrade to the bus garage roof.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? As soon as I do get that information in, I can share that with you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Discuss and set a date for a public informational meeting for disposition of the ECC building and continuation of the cell tower lease. So, that is something we were looking to do with a estimated time.
You see that we've had 2 meetings on that canceled, correct?
Yeah, this is something we were trying to work with both the developers, and also give the townspeople enough of a buffer to put the announcement out, legal notice, and things like that. So I'm looking at this point for the Thursday, January 8th, I've already reached out to the different companies that would be able to come to give a presentation, so that's what I was looking for.
And that's just an informational meeting, we're not going to be.
Absolutely, just information only. It's information to allow a couple of things. One, the cell tower company has come back to us with a decent increase in the cost of payment to us monthly. We're also looking to change the way that we do the, right now it's a 20-year lease, and every 5 years they give us a 15% bump. Okay, but then I talked to them about it, I said, why can't we do 3% annually? The differences are astronomical. We're looking at a 20-year total collection of $1 million. If we do it in 3, that's the 15% for 5 years. If we do it annually, 3%, it's almost 1.3. Compound, yeah. So that's the public information is important so they can understand what it is when they go to eventually vote on it. Because anything in the town charter that talks about a lease also requires a town vote. The other one is a information for the public on the 2 different companies who would like to purchase the ECC building, and also an opportunity for the public to input. So that's why it's just information only.
Do we know if before that date, would the Capital Strategic Planning Committee be meeting at all before then?
They will probably be meeting right after that. Probably like this, looking at Thursdays, and this is a tough month because of the holiday. But definitely, we're looking probably the 3rd week in January to start that up and get going.
Okay. The reason I say that is because, now that we've officially put this group together, I would think that one of the first things, on their agenda as far as building structures in town would be the ECC, because the fact that it's time sensitive, we can't sit on this forever, we do need to decide what the future is going to be on, and I would definitely like to hear input from them at some point down the road as a committee, so maybe they can come to the Board of Selectmen and present to it. Maybe that would be sometime in January or February, depending on when we roll.
Maybe give you some ideas about what that committee is going to have to do. First thing we need to do is we're looking at all the different buildings in the town of Plainfield. You're looking at the highway, police, rec department, sewer. So those buildings have to have, just what the other buildings were, analysis on, have to go out first to ask for the Board of Finance to take money from the fund balance to get that started. So once you do that, then you can put it up for an RFP. Then after that, you have to wait for that to get done, and then they do the analysis, which takes months. So the problem is that now you have a building that's sitting up there that is continually under the gun of getting it fixed, getting that done. We don't have that money invested in this year's budget. So you want to keep it, you want to maintenance on it, it could take a while before you get that to that level. You really want to evaluate everything equally. You look at all the buildings equally and say, what is the most important? The Board of Education has already talked about it for, and I can verify this, 25 years, how the heating systems over at Central Memorial are way outdated and need to be done. The price tag went from $400,000 or $500,000 for a fix over there to well over 2.2. So we keep pushing that down the road as the price goes up. That's one of the most important, to my recollection, one of the most important ones to get fixed up because we're losing money from that every year. So anybody going into the school, those 2 schools in particular, and you see in the classrooms, you see people wearing jackets in the winter, that's not a good environment to actually teach in. And again, you're losing money because you're pumping out all the extra heat trying to get through over there. So my opinion would be that's one of the highest ones. Who knows, in the evaluation you could find something else. So I just want to be able to have to the public an idea because we did this over a year ago, putting it up to our realtor to give us an idea if somebody wanted it. 2 companies came back, and I think it's important for the public to know what the plans are over there and how much they will get revenue-wise versus how much money it would take to fix it up. That information will be available. I'll bring that as well. We had a meeting a year ago, January. Then this past January on that whole thing. So the information is still available, but there's more data to share.
Well, my hope would certainly be that members of the newly formed Strategic Planning Committee would make it out with that information and certainly speak their part. I know I'm going to certainly be spreading the word of the day because people should come out and obviously listen to the discussion and make their thoughts be known. One thing I would like to note is with the craziness that kind of went on with the cancellation of it, we have 2 dates that were on the calendar at one point, and they're both canceled. And so I had a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls from people in town saying, when is the meeting? And of course, I couldn't give them a straight answer because we hadn't acted on it yet. But in the event where something comes up, which between now and January 8th, and if this one has to be canceled, we definitely need to come up with some type of communication system. And, this would start off internally. So for example, like, I don't know, when Mike found out about it, but for me, I found out just because I stopped by to see that particular night. But we as the Board of Selectmen definitely need to know as soon as possible. You're, of course, the first one to find out, about these kind of things. And then we kind of need to then filter it through. Mike and I need to know. We, of course, have our own people that we regularly talk to in the town. Many of them have a vested interest in these kind of things. So I just want to throw that out there as a scenario. It can always happen again for some reason where we have to cancel this one, have to reschedule. And I just want to make sure that the public is informed of if it does happen, we can get out of ASAP and utilize, your social media page, they can post on there that, hey, just so everyone knows, this was canceled. Because there was a lot of confusion with this past 2 dates.
And this has already been, again, I reached out to all parties and made sure that they would work with them.
So you're looking for a motion to set a date and time, January 8th, and,
Yep, January 8th for the public informational meeting for disposition of the ECC building continuation of cell tower lease at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And item 6 will be added in. It's just a motion you have in your papers that passed out. We would need to fix the dates, so we have to entertain a motion for Steve Randall, who was voted on November 10th, that the dates of their service should be January 1st, because it's fitting into a slot. So for that, it should be January 1st, 2024 through January 4th, 2027. So what's your plan?
I'll make a motion that we approve the term correction dates as you just presented.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The other paper you have falls under the other. From the chairperson for ethics, we had a resignation from the Ethics Commission, and that was Lynn Gagnon. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. We'll be looking, searching, putting it online as well for someone from the, it has to be Democrat, because Lynn's a Democrat, so it fits into that slot. With that,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Time is 7:03. Thank you.